Stand Up Nigeria condemns NAFDAC's ban on sachet and small bottled alcohol, calling it arbitrary, undemocratic and anti-people. The group warns of devastating economic consequences, including ₦1.9 trillion in lost investment and 500 direct jobs at risk. They demand the resignation of NAFDAC's DG, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye. However, the group urged the Minister of Health to intervene and approve the national alcohol policy.
Members of the Stand Up Nigeria address you this afternoon to express our worry and sadness over the high-handedness and illegality being perpetrated by the NAFDAC DG, Professor Mojisola Christiana Adeyeye, and our co-travelers. We read with rude shock a piece of news item on the print media, broadcast and other media outlets credited to the NAFDAC purportedly placing a ban on the production, distribution and consumption of alcoholic beverages in sachet and small bottled water glass bottles below 200 ml by December 2025. This draconian pronouncement by the Director General, Professor Mojisola Christiana Adeyeye, in collaboration with some members of the Nigerian Senate, is a sharp contrast to the Renew Hope agenda of His Excellency President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, who rose to power with people-oriented development blueprints and immediately embarked on total diversification of the nation's economy to make resources available for the execution of capital projects, as can be seen in the full deregulation of the Nigerian oil sector downstream. It's important to state that the purported directive for an outright ban is unfair and unacceptable, given the fact that NAFDAC had issued its own violation of the terms of a more inclusive process that was organized by the agency's supervising Ministry of Health. It is our position that NAFDAC should have presented its position before the Senate Committee alongside the Ministry during the validation, rather than bypassing these processes and opt to approach the National Assembly without giving other stakeholders opportunity of fair hearing. Unfortunately, the implications of these pronouncements are too grave to be ignored. It is economically counterproductive for a government that is expanding its revenue net to gulp in more resources for the execution of infrastructural projects. If allowed to stand, it will cause economic dislocation of unimaginable proportion for the nation at this critical time. That the Minister of Health and coordinating Ministry of Health and Social Welfare to kindly endorse the draft copy of the validated Nigerian alcohol policy and its multi-sectoral implementation framework. That the Senate should act with dignity, fairness and respect for all in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that they sought to uphold, and revisit the matter by way of calling for a stakeholder consultation, either through public hearing or focused meeting with relevant industry players in the alcohol beverage industry, as was robustly done by the House of Representatives. That Professor Mojisola Christiana Adeyeye, the NAFDAC DG, should desist from further running the agency like a private business enterprise and subjecting it to public ridicule or resign, as her action and continuous stay in office pose serious threat to the full implementation of Mr. President's Renew Hope agenda. Thank you for your kind attention.